Okay, it's 9:30. This is a regular open meeting of the Third Laguna Hills Mutual Board of Directors, a California nonprofit mutual benefit corporation. Today is Tuesday, July 15, 2025. We are here at boardroom, 9:30 a.m. The boardroom address is 24351 El Toro Road, Laguna Woods, California, 92637. Today board meeting is the purpose of today's meeting is to conduct the regular third mutual board meeting in accordance with Civil Code 4930 and was hereby noticed in accordance with the Civil Code 4920. Before we start this meeting, I'd like to make a comment just briefly. We third board directors are just top-notch directors.
Thank you.
To me, the best director that we can think of. Look at the consist of what directors we have. Thank you. That's all I can say. I'd like to call meeting to order. And first, we gotta take care of the Pledge of Allegiance, I think. Director Wayne is not here?
Director Wayne is he's on.
On June?
He's prepared to do it from Zoom.
Oh, good. Let's see what happened. Oh, good. Wow. Director Wayne, you take. Okay. Okay.
Oh, you need to unmute, Craig.
If not, we do it.
All right.
Okay.
Steve, go ahead.
Yeah.
I pledge allegiance to the
Okay, let's
flag
try that
of the
again.
United States of
I
America.
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United
and the
States of America and
and
to the republic
for which it stands,
for which
one
it
nation,
stands,
under
one
God,
nation,
indivisible, with
indivisible,
liberty and justice for all.
Justice.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Craig.
So,
Okay. Approval of agenda. Today's agenda. Any?
So moved.
Okay. Good. Robert moved and Peggy second. Any question or changes would you like to make? No? Okay, it's, I assume, unanimous. Approval of minutes. A, May 19, special open budget MC and general service review meeting. B, June 17, regular open meeting, which was last month open meeting. And the C, July 3rd, agenda prep meeting, which for today's meeting prep. So,
I'll move with one, I have a correction.
okay,
All right, and that is on June 17th, 4B, page 11 of 22, under the Architectural Control and Standards Committee meeting. Peg Moore is still listed as a member, and my name is left off, and it should be the reverse. My name should be there, and Peg Moore should be deleted, as she should be an alternate.
okay,
I'm sorry, can you repeat that one more time?
okay.
On page 11 of 22, under the Architectural Control and Standards Committee membership, my name is not there. It should be there. And Peg Moore's should not be there.
I'm an alternate.
She's an alternate.
You got it? Good, thank you.
Other than that,
Okay.
I have no
You
other
move?
correction.
And who's second?
I second. Peg second.
Peggy second. So, any changes, any questions? Nothing?
With the notation.
With the correction.
With the correction that we unanimous consent. Okay, that's my turn, I guess. Chair remarks. Today, I would like to announce and report the following 6 important matters of the Third Mutual. First, 2026 budget monthly assessment increase. The members of the Third Board are residents of Third, just like all of you who are watching this. We took very seriously our fiduciary responsibility when we join the board. We are very sensitive to the many different financial circumstances of our residents, and to this end, take budgeting very seriously, especially when it comes to increasing the monthly assessment. Know that I and my fellow board members are committed to keeping any increase that may be implemented as slow as is reasonably possible. So there will be an increase, but let me assure you, it will be the minimum necessarily to maintain the service you currently enjoy and the protection your investment that you deserve. As of July 15, no version of the third 2026 budget has been proposed. Yet, GRF budget appears to be reduced from version 1, $271.27, to version 2, $261.90, which represent 10% increase for GRF 2026 budget. It is still a significant increase of the GRF budget. Our board will try our best to have an increase to the lowest, and will update status of our third mutual 2026 budget at next board meeting as it becomes available. Item 2, 2026 election. Our annual third mutual board of directors election season is just around the corner. In fact, it has begun. There are 7 candidates for 4 seats. Election ballot will be mailed to each and every one of unit owner around August 26. Please vote and return your ballot as early as possible. Item 4, Ting Fiber project. Please note that current estimation indicate that our internet and TV program fees in 2027 will be approximately $75 increase. For those who do not have an internet service right now, will be assessed the full amount. However, for those who have a different current internet service, will be the current fee plus the difference. Item 5, multicultural event, so-called Unity Festival. Preparations are underway and is scheduled on Tuesday, September 30th, 2025, from 4:30 p.m. through 7:30 p.m. at Clubhouse 2. Ticket price is $20, including food and live entertainment. Please mark your calendar. Item 6, traffic violations. Last 2 months, I have noticed that there have been somewhat uptick traffic violations. Fines are heavy. Please stop at the stop sign. Also, keep in mind that traffic rule is a safety-related matters, so it may not be affected by a new state law, AB 130. Thank you for listening. Okay, I'm done for speaking.
Good job.
Item 6, open forum. Prior to open forum members' comments, I would like to remind everyone that open forum speakers are limited for 3 minutes per speaker. At this time, members only may address the board of directors regarding items not on the agenda and within the jurisdiction of this board of directors. The third board deserves the right to limit the total time allotted for open forum to 30 minutes. Member may speak only once during the forum. A speaker may not yield their time to other members. No audio or video recording by attendees and no rude or threatening comments are allowed. Members can attend our meeting by joining the Zoom link, https://zoom/USJ948998 646-0730 or call 669-900-6833 or email meeting@vmsinc.org to have your message read during the open forum. So, Michaela, do we have member comment? Please.
We do. We have 3 in-person member comments, and then we have 3 letters that were emailed to us, so then I'll read those after.
Okay.
The first in-person is Dorothy Pacella.
Good morning, directors. My name is Dorothy Pacella, and I'm here on behalf of the History Center. I'm a trustee on their board, and we wanted to invite all of you, as well as the community, to let you know that we're celebrating in the History Center. The important celebration is the 60th anniversary of Village TV. Yes, 60 years. We have been blessed with our own circuit TV. And what we've done in the History Center, because we love archives and we love history, is we have set up a beautiful display in our lobby of all of the historical pieces of Village TV. And we invite you, we invite the viewers and all members of the village to come visit us. The display will be up until December, but it's really a treasure because we have very important documents. As you may know, the History Center has 3 core principles: collect, conserve, and convey. And that's what we do best. And so when we had the celebration, we went looking for important documents. And look what we found. This literally is the newspaper when it was Leisure World News. We had our own newspaper, and it's announcing the launch on October 11th, 1965, of TV6. And it talks about the TV. So we had these wonderful documents, but we knew we needed more. And so we got a hold of this fellow that you may have heard of. His name is Paul. And he has equipment. And we have cameras, and we have all these things that are historical, that are old, that he used in the very beginning. So we are very excited about our display, and we hope that you come visit us that it's here. It's here for you. The History Center is more than a pretty face. We really work hard to protect our history and conserve what we have. So my purpose of this morning is to invite everyone in the community to come see us because it's a very important time. Funny quick story. I was at the History Center collecting this, and I walked out of the building, and who's there in front of me but Ting? Ting was installing fiber optics. So here I stood celebrating closed circuit TV, and there in front of me was the Ting crew installing our new technology. History in the making, right there on the sidewalk at the History Center. Yeah. So anyway, please come see us. We'd love to have you. We're open Monday through Friday, 11 to 1, or by appointment. So thank you for your support over the time, and please come visit us. We love to talk about history. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Next speaker is Gail Lewis.
Hi, my name is Gail Lewis. Dear members of the board, I respectfully submit a petition that reflects the serious concerns held by numerous homeowners regarding VMS's management, communication, and responsiveness. The decision to present this petition was not made lightly. It comes after ongoing efforts to engage with VMS were met with repeated delays, dismissiveness, and/or inadequate resolution. The petition reflects long-standing frustrations that many feel should no longer be overlooked or dismissed. We believe that a professional management company would better serve the community with greater knowledge and transparency. This petition is not merely an expression of dissatisfaction, but it is a call to action for better stewardship and representation moving forward. I ask you today to form a committee in search of a professional management company that will meet the needs of our community. Thank you for your attention to this matter. I hope the concerns voiced here will be met with the seriousness and integrity they deserve. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next in-person speaker is Bill Walsh.
I don't like public speaking. I get nervous. I'd rather sit behind a dais. It makes me feel more comfortable. Donna, I want to thank you for the nice article you put into the Village Breeze about the monetary and environmental benefits we're receiving from all of the energy activities that we've done over the years here in Third Board. So that's great. I appreciate it. I actually came down, my major reason for coming down is based on what I've observed about the broadband monies. And I watched the GRF board meeting. I don't know if some of you watched it or were sitting in it 2 weeks ago. And I watched the directors wringing their hands and bemoaning how they were going to do their budget in light of allocating $16 million over the next 2 years. And it made me think that we have a really great asset in Third, and that's our solar. Okay? And I think Donna reflected that. In fact, I was surprised to see the dollar amount that we're getting a return on investment on a $2.5 million investment, about 10%. And I'm not sure that any of our reserves are getting a 10% return on investment at this time. But when I attended pre-broadband meetings at the PC Club that staff was putting on, one of the comments was that in 1999, the board, the GRF board, recommended that a reserve fund be put in place to replace the existing broadband, which was basically coaxial cable at the time. And I'm thinking back 26 years, if they had just put a reserve fund, it wouldn't have had to been $16 million in today's dollars. They could have saved money. And why I came here today is that in 12 years, net metering 1 is going to be over for all of our good solar. And we're going to have to make a decision on whether we want to give Edison free electricity with that electricity, or maybe 20 cents on the dollar, or whether we want to use all of the electricity we produce. And so I would say that if we can have a discussion sometime, and if you would let me know, I would love to join you if you decide to have a discussion on the subject matter. And I'd like to hear some ideas. I've already done some research, but I would love to hear what people have to say in a discussion on the subject. So I'd love to see, let's talk about that. I appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Anybody else?
There are 3 letters that I will read right now.
Okay.
The first one is from Chris Collins regarding the foundation of Laguna Woods Village. Laguna Woods is one of the safest communities in Orange County, but that does not make it immune to the threat of wildfires. While the memory of the LA fires may be dimming, wildfires are a possible threat throughout the county. Given the mobility issues and frailty of some village residents, emergency preparedness is that much more important here. In large measure, the protection of the village falls to the Orange County Fire Authority and the Orange County Sheriff's Department. The third interview in the foundation of Laguna Woods Village's televised series, Planning for the Unpredictable, will introduce us to Captain Jack Ackerman, who oversees police services in Laguna Woods. Since its incorporation in 1999, the city of Laguna Woods has contracted with the Sheriff's Department to provide police services. During an emergency such as a wildfire, Captain Ackerman explains how the OC Sheriff's Department will form a unified command with Orange County Fire, and that the sheriff's personnel will have responsibility to notify residents of the need for evacuation, sometimes going house to house. The Sheriff's Department does have resources to assist residents in an evacuation and will utilize village resources such as buses as well. In all, though, Captain Ackerman urged residents to be enrolled with Alert OC so that they are notified in the event of an emergency and to keep an easy-to-carry go bag ready with a change of clothing and medications. He also suggested having a handwritten list of important telephone numbers in your go bag if your cell phone runs out of power or gets lost or broken. The broadcast of the interview with Jack Ackerman will air on Village Television in June on Wednesday at 4 p.m. and Saturdays at noon. In addition, all the interviews, which are part of the Planning for the Unpredictable series, can be accessed as YouTube videos on the Foundation's website, foundationoflagunawoodsvillage.org, under the special tab, Disaster Preparation. If you have any questions about planning for the unpredictable, please contact the Foundation at thefoundation@comline.com, 949-268-2246, or go to our website, foundationoflagunawoodsvillage.org. And that was all from Chris Collins. And then there's the next one from Gail Ford. And they said, I'm unable to attend the third board meeting on July 15th. So I am submitting this question via email. With the recent change to lower the percentage of rental properties in Third Mutual, which I agree with, is there a concern or chance that manor owners who still want to rent their unit will instead create a renter as an occupant and enter into off-the-books rental type agreement? If so, can anything be done about that? As occupants, we have no financial interest in the village and use additional water, take valuable parking, and utilize amenities. Has there been any discussion or proposal to have an occupant who may only be interested in village amenities go through a background or financial check and have a financial stake, or force an occupant to have their driver's license match their manor address in order to eliminate those that are added as occupants only to have amenity access? Thank you for addressing this concern. And the final one is from Jay Lessie. And they said, I'd like to thank the board for saving the remaining Vigas wood trim on our southwest style buildings. You voted at the June 17th board meeting to protect this architecture. Your vote was unanimous, and that shows you care about the appearance of our buildings. Over the years, residents and directors have acknowledged my concern for aesthetic matters, enhancing curb appeal and eliminating eyesores. In 2022, I successfully lobbied to prohibit water heaters in the common area landscape and construction of those ugly water heater huts. The recent success on the Vigas is a continuation of what I hope will be a move toward more aesthetics-focused policies. As shown by the members' support of the Vigas, there is indeed an interest in aesthetics, but aesthetics is often overshadowed by budget, policy, compliance, and other considerations, slowly degrading the curb appeal of our buildings. Aesthetics need not be expensive. Having a beautiful and upscale community need not cost more. It just means making the best aesthetic decisions. We should use in-house architects and other design professionals for our buildings and landscape, as well as take input from members. This will uphold values, improve curb appeal, and make this a gorgeous community. We've worked a lifetime to retire in a beautiful place. Thank you. And that is all for open forum.
Thank you. Any board members' response to? Yes, Ruth.
Yes, I'd just like to make a comment about the Historic History Museum. I've had occasion to be there a lot lately, and the people are incredibly helpful, and there is so much information there. So any members that are interested in the history of the woods, as well as Orange County, I encourage you to utilize that facility. It's right next to the library, it's convenient, and they will tell you, they'll talk to you all day if you're interested. So
Yes, Jim?
please do that.
Yeah, let me just say ditto, and I have a special reason for acknowledging the history. Let me just say ditto with Ruth, and I have a special purpose in acknowledging the History Center because I'm a trustee also. But it is, my statement is non-biased. I became a trustee because as I went through the history book that was published about 10 years ago, I found more about the origin of Laguna Woods Village, notwithstanding prior to it becoming a village, which is a significant history in and of itself. But once it became a village, and you looked how the governance structure and all of the amenities got developed and why and all those kind of things, you develop a different appreciation for this village and what it's all about. And so I would encourage everybody especially board members, to understand the history of the village, how it got formed. For instance, PCM, our previous property manager, was formed here. It grew up here. It was formed here, and then became a professional management company. So it's just understanding that it set the prototype. 60 years ago, HOAs, et cetera, were not as prevalent as they are today. So just understanding that history kind of gives us a better way to govern. Thank you.
Thank you.
I just have one question for one of our speakers. Gail Lewis, are you in any way related to a prior board member?
I'll ask, why is that?
Could you come to speak?
Yeah.
Yes, Mike?
Why is that a question? Why are you concerned about
I
that?
want to know if you are.
Yes, my husband is Nathaniel Ira Lewis. He has nothing at all to do with this.
Thank
This
you.
this is what I feel
I just
that
asked
we
one
should
question.
do. Okay, and I'm answering it.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Any? Yes.
Well, I want to thank History Center for all the work that you guys do. Everyone said a good thing about it, and, you know, I cannot add any more. It's perfect. Mr. Walsh, I know the energy is the future of the solar, and this technology is evolving very fast and still trying to find its direction. We definitely need to keep eye on that and see how we're going to benefit from the future of this energy. We definitely need to look into it and be prepared. Not rush into it, but be prepared, because we don't know where things goes and how, you know, things going to turn in the future. Because they're coming with the paint that you put on the wall and, energize your house. So putting up the panel here might not be for in the future something that's, going to be unsightly. But in general, I agree that we have to keep eye on that. Energy and electricity are going to be an issue as we go into the future, and we need to be prepared. And also, we need to have reserve and, making sure that we can deal with it as come up. And Mrs. Lewis, thank you for the petition. You gave it to we definitely will look at it, and we're going to see what it says and, what you guys, want us to look at. Definitely we'll look at it as a board. Thank you for your time in getting this thing, getting involved with the community. That's the most important things. And I appreciate all the rest of the speakers. Thank you for your comments.
Okay, anybody? Yes, Robert?
Yeah. Bill Walsh, thank you for bringing back to our attention the issue of how the solar is going to change in terms of the money we get back from SCE at a certain period in time, and we do need to be aware of that. So I echo my colleagues' comments related to that, and thank you for bringing that back to our attention. The other thing I wanted to say is for Gail Ford, in terms of the occupancy issues, it is something that we are very concerned about. The board has been looking at it, and I'm not sure what actions we can take, but we will give it some real consideration. Thank you. The other one I wanted to make reference to is Jay Lessie. Thank you for your comments, and keep working the way you are in terms of the aesthetics for the village. Thank you.
Okay, Steve?
Yeah, I want to address to Siobhan, if I could, on Chris Collins' comments on emergency procedures. First off, is there a disaster preparedness plan that's been coordinated with the city? It sounds as though.
Yes, that update is underway currently. We're not sure if the city was involved in the first plan that was prepared under Director Tim Moy at the time. So we are combining efforts and working together now.
Okay. I guess I'm wondering how the foundation got into this for emergency procedures.
They came to us and offered their assistance just to try to help reach a different segment of the community, because our traditional means may not reach some of the folks that the foundation and social services are involved with.
Okay. Is there any way of getting a copy of the draft agreement with the city?
Yes, I'll refer that to Director Nunez and have him follow up with you.
Okay, so I can get a copy?
I'm not sure if it's available yet. As I said, it's a work in progress, so I will
Okay.
defer to Director Nunez.
Good. Anybody? Any directors? No? I'd like to make a comment. Thanks for participating in the forum. We need to review Mrs. Lewis' proposal. And also regarding the solar panel, I'm also interested in solar panel as well because electricity prices keep going up. So the problem is our reserve fund is not there yet to me. So we are keep eye on it, and we'll someday we'll have some solar panel, I think. I'm interested in that too. Thank you. Hey, Craig, do you want to say something?
No comment.
Okay, good. Thank you. So, no, okay. Okay. 7 is respond to forum, and next item is B, which is prior meeting forum. We follow Mr. Doc Gibson's comment that message was noted, and the Fiorzi, I don't know. I'm sorry to mispronounce this, but the member was claimed against neighbor that our compliance department is investigating and follow up with that. Other than that, we're follow up with all the board meeting forum speakers. Now, next item is 8, a CEO report. Siobhan, take it away, please.
Thank you, President Park, honorable members of the board. Today, I'd like to highlight safety and other key topics in our community. I wanted to start to follow up kind of on Chris Collins' theme, be wildfire ready. As the recent fire in Laguna Beach reminded us, preparation is the key against fast, unpredictable events. Key preparedness steps include knowing fire extinguishers, location, usage, and expiration, learn how to shut off your utilities, prepare a go bag, as Chris mentioned in her comments, create a wildfire action plan, evacuation routes, meeting points, pet arrangements, and a family communication plan. Also, we encourage you to stay informed via critical resources. Alert OC is the countywide emergency notification system. You can visit their website to subscribe. OC Fire Authority, you can also follow them on social media. And CAL FIRE Incident Tracker, you can visit their website to track the progress of incidents. Code Red alerts here in the village are our means of communicating with residents during emergency. Residents can register at the village website, lagunawoodsvillage.com, by clicking on the Code Red icon or through the resident portal. Residents are also encouraged to monitor wildfire and air quality when there is adverse air quality. You can do this by checking the current air quality information at aqmd.gov. And if the air quality is bad, we encourage you to stay indoors, keep windows and doors closed, and so forth. Locally, we want to remind residents about dumpster fire safety, since the village has experienced a couple dumpster fires recently. Displayed on the screen are photos from a June 14th Under Manor trash enclosure. Tips to prevent dumpster fires include avoiding disposing of items in dumpsters such as smoldering cigarette butts and barbecue coals, batteries, damaged electrical items, and chemicals. Residents may call 800-449-7587 for free household hazardous waste pickups through the City of Laguna Woods' contract service provider, WM Curbside. Also, Laguna Woods City Hall accepts the drop-off of household batteries, not including vehicle batteries. So please make safe options for your disposal. We also want to remind residents about residential fire safety. We've had a couple minor fires in the community recently and just want to draw your attention to those. One on the left-hand side of the screen is a grease barbecue fire. In the middle of the screen is an appliance that was left on a patio that caused smoldering and smoke. And then cooking food left on the stove when someone leaves a manor is a common occurrence in our community. So just be aware when you're doing things and try to prevent fires. Per OCFA, fire extinguishers can help fires from escalating if you have the right kind at the right place and at the right time. They encourage you to keep one in your kitchen where most common fires start and store another one near a home exit for a safer getaway if flames are close to your entry points. Per OCFA, multi-purpose ABC extinguishers are recommended for home use. A means the device can extinguish fires from wood, cotton, and cloth. B fights fires from flammable liquids like cooking sprays. C will extinguish fires resulting from live electricity. OCFA encourages the use of the pass technique. Pull the pin, aim at the base of the fire, squeeze the lever slowly, and sweep from side to side. The OCFA website, ocfa.org, has a great video on fire extinguisher use and other home safety information. These materials are available in numerous different languages, so please take advantage of those. And also call 911 to ensure you have a clear exit route before using a fire extinguisher. Another key topic in our community are coyotes. Laguna Woods Village, as you know, is immediately adjacent to the Laguna Coast Wilderness Park. This is a 7,000-acre protected area, which is habitat to much wildlife. Residents, though, can do their part by helping make our community as inhospitable as possible to coyotes. Animal control advises the following resident precautions. Coyotes are skittish by nature and do not typically act aggressively toward people. When walking, be loud, large, and persistent. Use hazing tactics like standing tall, waving your arms, and yelling. If a coyote doesn't flee, escalate with noisemakers, a whistle, an air horn, a jar of pennies, and so forth. Do not feed any wildlife. Doing so is illegal. Pick up fallen fruit. Keep barbecue grills clean and covered. The Animal Control Division also provides these pet precautions. Obey leash laws. Length of leash must be 6 feet or less. Keep cats indoors. Keep pet food and water bowls indoors. Walk safely. Walk in groups if possible. Dress your dog in protective coyote vests. Carry a noisemaker or a squirt gun with a water vinegar mixture. Never run upon a coyote, whether alone or with a pet. If you need help with coyotes, Laguna Beach Police Department Animal Services Division responds to village wildlife situations, not village management services. Please report all aggressive coyote behavior to Laguna Beach Animal Services. Officers can't address what they don't know about. They encourage residents to call 949-497-0701 and press extension 0, or email coyotes@lagunabeachcity.net. For more coyote information, the village website has the YouTube channel, and there's a great feature from November 2022, Discovering Laguna Woods Village, where host Cindy Whitney interviews David Petrella, a retired Long Beach Animal Services officer, with tips and know-how about coyotes. I also want to mention the 2025 seal coat and street paving programs are underway. Residents may experience temporary lane closures and detours while the work is in progress. Specific dates will be posted as they become available. On the screen before you are third seal coat projects, which include 17 cul-de-sacs as listed on the screen. Also, Via Portora and Vista Del Mondo will be coated. I want to note 2 GRF projects, though, that will have significant community impact. Clubhouse 4 parking lot will be paved. This will take place July 25th to 27th, a Friday to a Sunday. And during this time, Clubhouse 4 and Pool 4 will be closed. And then the Clubhouse 7 parking lot will be seal coated, and this work will be done in phases between August 4th and August 7th. This is a Monday to a Thursday. The Clubhouse tennis and bridge room will remain open. The driving range will be closed on Tuesday, August 5th. The main lounge will be closed during this time for other maintenance work not associated with the paving project. And lastly, I'd like to provide a quick update on the high-speed fiber internet service project. Ting's ultra-fast fiber internet project construction is underway. Work continues in the southeast work zone, which is shown in the highlighted areas on the screen. Crews are locating underground utilities, installing underground fiber access points, and proofing conduit. More information is available for residents by visiting the Ting Village Specific Support website on the address shown on the screen before you. And you may watch out for the Every Friday digital What's Up in the Village for updates, a facts page, and much more. And that concludes my update this morning. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Any questions? Yes, Peggy?
On your code red, how do I know whether I've submitted or not? I think I have, but I don't know how to check.
Resident Services can verify that for you.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Anybody else? Oh, yes, Doctor.
A lot of resident has the pet, mostly dog, without a leash. They can walk around. Is that our rule, or our rule really requires a leash?
A leash is required.
So how are we going to control that?
You need to call security if you see that occurring.
Well, that happened a lot. Yeah. Thank you.
Yes, Peggy.
I do want to say, as far as animal control, the prior one, David Petraeus, who does give some of our reports, was excellent. The new one does not respond. I've called them several times, and I have not had him respond at all.
I can give you another contact number. We had a different animal control officer speak at a town hall meeting last Friday. I'll provide that information.
Thank you.
Okay, good. Yes, Jim?
I just want to say thank you for that report. I mean, it's covered a lot of things. Oh, sorry. I just wanted to say thank you for that report. It covered a lot of things. I think we kind of take for granted all of the activities that our property manager, managing agent are involved in, and all the things that they service. So thank you again. That was a very, very broad and complete report. Thank you.
Okay, anybody else? I noticed a lot more coyote this year. I don't know what's going on.
Impressive.
Yes, and I would recommend all the residents, when you walk, please grab some kind of stick or something, just in case.
In concert with that, SK,
Yes.
they are beginning to overpower the human relations.
Oh, I see.
I mean, there's more coyotes than people.
Okay, be prepared. It's a lot more coyote this year, I noticed that. If we don't have any more questions or comments, then I will go to consent calendar, item 9. All matters listed under the consent calendar are recommended for action by committee and will be enacted by board by one motion. In the event an item is removed from consent calendar by members of the board, such item shall be subject of further discussion and action by the board. We have a total of A, B, C, D, E, 5 items.
So moved.
Robert moved and Peggy second. Any question or anything that we want to change in the consent calendar? No? Okay. So it's a unanimous consent. Thank you. And one thing that item E is it is entertained a motion to approve rescheduling of the annual and organizational meeting of our third board from October 2nd to October 3rd. Okay, same time. Thank you. I just want to mention. Okay, we have unfinished business item 10 if we don't have any further comments. First, 10A. Entertain a motion to approve the amended schedule of monetary penalties which satisfy 28-day notification. So, Steve, could you read that?
Sure. Resolution 03-25-XX, Schedule of Monetary Penalties. Whereas the Schedule of Monetary Penalties is required per Civil Code to identify violations and potential penalties which may be imposed upon a member following a disciplinary hearing by the Board of Directors for violations of the governing documents and rules and regulations by a member, co-occupant, guest, or lessee, and whereas the Resident Policy and Compliance Committee has recommended amending the schedule of monetary penalties to increase the minimum penalty to $150 and the unauthorized alterations penalty maximum to $10,000. Now therefore be it resolved, July 15th, 2025, that the Board of Directors of this corporation hereby approves the attached amended schedule of monetary penalties and resolve farther that Resolution 03-23-133, adopted November 21st, 2023, is hereby superseded and canceled. And resolve further that the officers and agents of this corporation are hereby authorized on behalf of the corporation to carry out the purpose of this resolution. And the 28-day notification for Civil Code 4360 has been satisfied.
Okay, thank you, Steve. Any further question or?
I'll also
Yes.
move, but there needs to be some discussion.
Okay. Second, first moved Robert, and Ruth is the second. Okay, now discussion.
Well, I think we go ahead and approve this. We need to be well aware that with the new law, AB 130, there may be a need to make additional adjustments, and it is already scheduled for discussion at the next policy meeting in light of new AB 130.
Okay.
So just be aware that all these changes that we're making now, some of them may not hold.
Right. Thank you. And any further question or discussion? No? So let's vote on it. Craig?
Aye.
You voted yes.
Yes,
Can I-
aye.
President Park?
Yes.
I guess, Basilda, did you have something you wanted to say about this or anything?
Yeah.
Well, I was just going to request that it be sent back to the Resident Policy and Compliance Committee meeting because of AB 130. We are going to change a lot of the fines just to align with the new law. So I would recommend probably just sending it back to the committee, but we're already here, so we'll work with what we got.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
why I said what I
Yeah.
said.
Yes.
While we're approving this,
Yeah.
know that we'll be revising it.
Yes,
Yeah, because the AB 130 was signed in yesterday
July
into the
1st.
law.
Yeah,
July 1st?
Yeah,
July
but
1st, it goes into effect.
July.
July 1st it went into effect. So right now, for all your disciplinary hearings, the monetary penalty is capped at $100 to match civil code. So we are following all the current civil code policies, which includes the 14 days.
Yes, yes.
There's a fairly large
Yeah.
exception for health and safety.
Health and safety,
Yes.
health
Yes.
and a lot of
And
our
that's what we're
issues
figuring
Common
out.
areas.
will
health
come
and
under health
safety.
and safety. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So that's,
Yeah, it's,
Reza,
you know, there are areas in there that are not very clear, like any
Correct.
other law that they passed.
Correct.
And it says safety of common area, some things that I don't understand. The safety of common area is incursion into the common area. I mean, there is a lot need to learn about this before we jump into something, and we need to get some help.
Correct. And that's why going back to resident policy and compliance, the committee would give staff direction to work with legal counsel to create a policy that works for third parties.
Okay.
And each board is working with their respective
Yes.
legal counsels, and many are of the opinion that you take a broad stroke with health and safety that virtually.
And I suggest that we all work in the same direction, not having different, version of the things for different part of this community. It's not going to work with it.
Yes, Robert.
there was originally discussion about actually asking one of the attorneys
Yeah.
to develop the material so that it would apply, we could then, all three boards could apply the same kind of
Yeah.
understanding, and that we would then share whatever the cost is of that one attorney.
I had not heard that, but that's a great idea. And
Yeah.
I know
Yeah.
one is already working on it.
Right.
We need
And the
uniformity.
And the suggestion that I made was that we ask Jeff Beaumont to be that person to do that, and, that we would share whatever cost is for that.
However, I already told Catherine to contact our legal counsel to review the AB 130
We
already.
can always rescind that and
Yeah, I would say
that
we
we've
rescind
elected to
that
go a different
and do
direction.
the one direction
Okay.
of Jeff Beaumont.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
because-
whoever, okay, yes.
Yeah, I just, for those members here and listening who are probably have no idea what we're talking about because it came out of the blue, we learned about it in the middle of our Finance Committee meeting July 1st. And that was when the Finance Department folks announced, they said, by the way, you may want to know. And this was an ordinance that was passed, an assembly bill passed, that caps fines with apparently little or no working with any HOAs to find out why the HOAs even had these fines and what the purpose was. And as the case certainly here, our fines that increased related to safety, such as stop signs and speeding, those weren't done for income for us. Those were done very specifically for safety.
Right.
And so, since that clause is there, but unfortunately it came somewhat out of the blue. There certainly wasn't a whole lot of warning. And apparently, not a whole lot of thought on the part of the legislators who thought this sounded like a really good idea until
Yes,
we
Siobhan.
found out about it and realized the impact on communities, particularly in terms of safety. So just so people know what it is we're talking about.
In our training with our legal counsel, he mentioned he was on the committee, the Legislative Action Committee, excuse me, and they've been working with this legislator for months to get good, solid wording in there for HOAs, but as part of the governor's budget bill and related legislation, she reverted back to the old the old wording that CAI had worked for months to change, so it's very unfortunate.
Okay, thank you. Yes, Jim?
Yeah, one quick, we may want to consider establishing a legislative liaison, because Laguna Woods is very unique. In fact, all of the leisure worlds are very unique. And I don't know whether or not some of these things are applicable to much smaller HOAs, others are not. And maybe, Siobhan, you can offer, maybe you already have something like that, but it's just something that I thought about.
Each of our corporate attorneys is involved with CLAC, the Legislative Action Committee, and again, this was kind of a midnight backdoor thing that occurred as part of the budget.
Okay, yes.
I would like to suggest then that we rescind asking our attorneys to address this issue and join with United and GRF in approaching Jeff Beaumont to handle it.
So should we make it some
No, I don't
kind
think you
of-
need a motion. I just think she needs direction.
Yeah.
Okay,
And if you
yeah.
give her the direction.
Yes, I will.
Okay.
Yes, please, rescind
Contact
from
the
the,
United.
call
Okay.
our legal counsel and,
We'll work with United. I'm not aware of GRF's plans, so we'll have to follow
Well,
up.
but
Yeah.
I think it makes sense to.
yeah. Let's form a kind of, some groups and to work with it, yes. And is that means you are ready to change or modify our, penalty clause and so forth, or?
So we are working through it with legal counsel, so
Okay.
we'll see what, with the new directive, we'll see what United is doing, and then we'll work with that legal counsel to meet standard, and something will have to be done in open session so that you can increase fines for health and safety violations.
United has fast-tracked this.
Yeah.
They hope to have it on their August agenda, so.
August agenda already? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Would you like to, I think it makes sense. We have ad hoc committee with the United and GRF and the mutual on this purpose. Maybe two of each, and that they get together, discuss it, and come up with some kind of resolution.
I think we
or
need to wait
recommendation.
until we get the feedback from the attorney first, for us to consider it, and then we could move forward from there.
Okay. So
I think we first need the legal opinion, and we need to digest that.
legal opinion from?
From Jeff Beaumont.
Okay.
Staff will work with that, with the directive, and then I hope to bring something for next week, maybe even just a rough draft for
Okay.
Resident Policy and Compliance Committee.
So
Okay.
how are we going to approach for the Jeff Beaumont? Siobhan, you're going to work on that with the United?
Catherine and Bliselda will
Yeah.
coordinate with Jeff.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Okay.
we appreciate that.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. So we passed, am I correct? The item A. Am I correct?
We passed item A.
Yeah, item
So now we're on B.
Yeah, now we're on B, entertain motion to approve recommendation to adopt the shrub replacement policy. Steve, would you please?
Okay, Resolution 03-25-XX, Shrub Replacement Policy. Whereas the Landscape Department recognizes the need for a formal policy regarding shrub replacement to promote consistent landscaping standards, sustainability, and long-term community landscape goals, and whereas the proposed shrub replacement policy outlines clear criteria and procedures for replacing shrubs that are dying, hazardous, or overgrown, and emphasize environmental stewardship, biodiversity, and water conservation. And whereas the policy also ensures all shrub replacement requests are assessed by the Landscape Department, with final selections favoring drought-tolerant, regionally appropriate plants sourced from the GRF nursery. And whereas resident requests for shrub replacement will follow a structured process, including request submission, professional evaluation, board or staff approval, and scheduled installation aligned with seasonal best practices and available budget. And whereas the policy has been reviewed and recommended for adoption by the Landscape Committee. Now therefore be it resolved, July 15, 2025, the Board of Directors hereby adopts the shrub replacement policy as presented, and resolve further that the officers and agents of this corporation are hereby authorized on behalf of the corporation to carry out this resolution. This resolution has been satisfied for the 28-day notification.
Okay, thank you, Steve. Anything?
I'll move, and then I have a couple of comments.
Okay.
Second.
Okay, Robert moved and Reza second. Yes. Now
Okay,
it's
I'm
discussion.
sorry to bring it up at this late date, but if you turn to page 5 of 10, there are a couple of issues I have on this particular page. Page 5 of 10. All right, number 1, under criteria for residential shrub replacement. I understand health and vigor, I understand overgrowth, I understand risk or safety concerns. Personal preference, it says shrubs will not be replaced for personal preference. That's not a criteria. That's telling you the others are what's required. This should not, I mean, I have no problem with a statement, personal preference, shrubs will not be replaced for personal preference, but it doesn't belong, in my opinion, under criteria. Okay, that's point number 1.
Where would you place it?
I would place it as a statement by itself, a separate statement by itself. It needs to be there, but I don't think it's under the criteria. That's number 1. Number 2, if you go down to item number 2, process for shrub replacement, it says under installation, with prior approval, residents may engage outside landscapers to install approved plants. Okay? Then the next line says, may include soil preparation, mulch application, and irrigation adjustment. Why would we allow any outside vendor to touch our irrigation?
There we go.
She's ready to answer.
Good morning.
Okay.
So they would come to the committee for approval for the plant material and the plans, but we would do the irrigation adjustments in-house. We wouldn't let an outside
But that's not what that
contractor-
says.
Okay, we can adjust the wording on that area to reflect that.
Yeah, I mean, that was a major concern. I don't want them touching our irrigation.
It's one of our concerns too. We can adjust the wording on that.
Okay.
All
So,
right, and also take out the personal preference and make a separate statement on personal preference?
Yes.
okay. So,
With those changes, I'm fine with the
okay.
resolution.
Any comments or adjustment? Oh, yes, Donna?
No, I don't know if we had a second, and if we don't.
Yes,
I-
Reza
we do.
second.
Yes.
Okay, okay. So if we don't have any more or further questions or comments? Oh, you do? Okay. Dr. Yun?
Yeah. Down the road, maybe about 5-10 years later, and I think a personal preference will come in play. Many people may request with their personal preference. So I don't see that we put that in, make sure nobody can come up with a personal preference, they want to change it. I think it's kind of odd, as the Robert pointed out, but I think we're going to put that in it so nobody can even think as a personal preference. So I would like to keep it.
No,
as
we're
it
going to
is.
keep it,
Yeah.
but not there. We're going to
Yeah.
have it as a separate statement
All by
in
itself.
the document,
All right.
but just not in that location.
Yes.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Any further statement, question?
So
Yes.
we're approving the amendment first, and then
Or approving it with these minor changes.
With these
With the
amendments.
minor changes.
That's all, just being approved with minor changes.
Okay, so Megan
We're
promised to
we're
change.
considering
it.
them editorial
Okay,
changes.
I will make the changes.
okay. So, any further question?
Ready to
No?
vote?
Let's vote. Megan?
Craig, can you unmute yourself and provide your vote?
Mine isn't great color here. Here it is.
Oh, crap. Did I? No? I punched it already, okay. Craig, are you there? Say?
He might have left for a little bit.
I thought he's answered. Craig, could you say aye?
I vote yes.
Okay, good,
I
thank you.
vote yes. Aye.
Okay, good, thank you. You're good, good man. Okay, 10A and 10B is approved, both of are approved. Now it's a new business. 11, entertain motion to approve revision to standard 21 patio slab, walkways, and pavers. It is for 28-day notice. Steve, please.
Okay, Resolution 03-25-XX, revised standard 21, patio slabs, walkways, pavers, and driveways. Whereas the Third Laguna Hills Mutual recognizes the need to amend standards and create new standards as necessary, and whereas the Mutual recognizes the need to revise standard 21, that is patio, slabs, walkways, pavers, and driveways. Now therefore be it resolved, August 19, 2025, that the Board of Directors of this corporation hereby adopts revisions and amendments to Standard 21, that is patio, slabs, walkways, pavers, and driveways as attached to the official meeting minutes, and resolve further that Resolution 03-25-86, adopted May 20th, 2025, is hereby superseded and canceled, and resolve further that the officers and agents of this corporation are hereby authorized on behalf of the corporation to carry out this resolution as written. Staff recommends that the board members postpone the resolution to the next available board meeting, no less than 28 days from the postponement, to comply with Civil Code 4360.
Okay. This is 28-day notice resolution, and any move?
So moved.
Okay, Peggy move, and Ruth, a second. Any discussion?
I have a question.
Yes.
Alan, could I ask you a question if you don't mind?
Doesn't mind, but yeah, I can ask.
Morning. Good morning, and thank you for being here. In general, I don't have any issues or questions. Obviously, this came out of the committee I chair. But I do have one general question that I'm not sure is covered anywhere, and that has to do with the issue of allowing pavers to conform to the current width of either the walkway or the driveway. I see nothing in here that limits
Oh, okay.
the width. I don't want to see people take out the existing concrete and, walkway that, let's say, I'm just making up numbers, that let's say is 3 feet wide, and decide they want it now 4 feet wide, because that would encroach upon more common area. So I want to see they can do it, but it has to be limited to the current width of either the walkway or the driveway. Is that in here in any way?
Pardon?
Is that in here in any way?
No, not specifically, but we can certainly add that clarification as a line item.
Yeah.
I suggest we do, because other than that, we don't know how to deal with it when it comes as a request, because we don't have a rules.
So you just cover the area of the existing.
No, the line item would say something similar to that.
Yeah,
That,
okay.
Any new paver additions would need to conform to existing.
Okay,
conditions.
Director Yun?
Yeah, anything change, they have to come to ACS.
Right.
So I don't think we need to put it in there. They need to come to, for the approval, any change.
I think it's safer if it's
Yeah.
in here, and then it makes your job on ACS easier.
Okay,
Because you
yes.
go by the rules.
There's another reason for having it in there, and that is the intent of what we are doing, because boards change.
Okay.
And staff changes. And so it's very important that the intent be reflected in what we are doing, so that future people don't have to wonder what is it that we were intending.
Okay.
I support
So
putting that
would you like
limitation.
to,
He understands, and with that adjustment, if you'll make that adjustment, and everybody's well aware of that adjustment, I think we can go forward with this on 28 days, and when it comes back, you'll
We'll
have
have
that
that
minor
line
adjustment
item
in
added.
there.
okay, I think that's a good idea.
Okay.
So
Any-
to add that, if any change have to come for approval for architectural committee.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
to.
Yeah, but that's
put two
automatic.
things,
Yeah.
yeah, two things in it.
Okay.
Thank
You
you,
got it?
Alan.
Got it.
Ellen? Okay.
You got off the
So,
hook easy today.
any further questions or amendment or anything changes? No?
I
Okay.
apologize that I missed that when it came to the policy committee.
No apology necessary.
That was a very good idea.
I think it's a good item to be inserted
Yeah,
for
thank you,
clarification.
Robert. Let's do vote.
Okay, Craig, can I have your vote, please? Thank you.
Good, 11 to nothing, so it's been approved. Now, item B, 11B, entertain motion to approve a supplemental appropriation from the reserve fund in the amount of $500,000 for dry rot repairs. Steve, would you please?
Okay, Resolution 03-25-XX, supplemental appropriation for dry rot repair. Whereas the 2025 third business plan includes an allocation of $700,000 for outside vendor services as part of the Prior to Paint program under the budget header of building structures. And whereas the 2025 building structures budget allocation will be exhausted on buildings, that is carports, manors, and laundry rooms, currently under repair. And whereas the increase in dry rot repairs has caused delays for staff and outside service vendors to properly complete repairs, decreasing the number of buildings completed in the annual program. And whereas on July 7th, 2025, the Third Maintenance and Construction Committee voted unanimously to recommend the board approve the supplemental appropriation to replace structural beams in buildings 4007 through 4011 that require replacement due to extensive dry rot conditions. Now therefore be it resolved on July 15th, 2025, the Board of Directors of this corporation hereby authorizes supplemental appropriation in the amount of $500,000 to be funded from the reserve fund for building structures dry rot repairs. And resolve further that the officers and agents of this corporation are hereby authorized on behalf of the corporation to carry out the process of this resolution.
So this resolution is just approved, not the 28 notice at this point. So anybody moves? Okay. Peggy moved, and then Robert second.
I have a question.
And yes.
Why
please.
it comes up reserve, not contingency? The fund.
Come out of the contingency funds.
Why it comes out of reserve, not the contingency fund?
Oh,
because it's a capital expense.
Yeah, okay.
Is it capital expense? It's a repair and maintenance. Isn't it repair and maintenance? I'm just asking the
I
question.
mean,
I
that's
just want
the,
to make sure we get
that
it
is
out
the
of the
response.
right pot.
It's out of the right. Yeah.
Are
so,
we all comfortable with out of the right pot?
Now.
so can it be coming from?
Adam, let Adam come up and speak.
Okay, yes,
We
Adam.
let your wife speak, we might as well let you speak.
I always follow her.
It's a good idea, good man.
We like
Good.
to see that.
She does too. That portion out of the outside service vendors that we have is funded out of the reserves. And so that's why we're going to be using outside services again. So this portion would also come out of the reserve portion of that. It's part of the plan, the capital plan and the improvement plan. It would be funded out of the reserves for building structures.
And you think that's sufficient for the rest of the year?
I choose not to answer that question.
I'd rather you do, because if you have to take face with it, we need to think about it now.
You know, that's non-operating anyway,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
so we
I
have
know,
a
but-
certain amount of flexibility within those contingency or reserve funds.
I believe
Okay.
it'll be sufficient for this year. However, if we do encounter more, then we'll be back.
Okay, Steve has a question.
Yeah, Siobhan, because of this being installed permanently, that becomes real property, correct?
Right.
Okay,
That's
that's
why,
why I think
yes.
it should come out of
It's a
there.
capital, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so,
No, I'm just thumbs up.
okay, so $500,000 is not small amount, so I hope he used it wisely.
He will.
That's all.
Just
Yeah,
buy
he
a
will.
Porsche.
Okay, let's vote.
He's already got his tickets booked to the Bahamas.
Good for you, with your wife or somebody else?
Oh, dear.
For the record, I do not.
Okay, let's vote. Craig?
Craig, you have your hand raised.
Say yes.
Okay.
Craig?
Okay,
Okay, can you hear me now?
yes,
I vote aye.
thank
Yes.
you.
Good, thank you. Okay, item B is 11-0. It's been approved. Thank you, Adams. Okay, item C, discussion of CCNR changes, oral discussion. The Peggy will start.
Thank you. We have a committee under this board made up of committee members who are taking a look at our CCNRs because they are so outdated with the legal information that has changed through the state. So we are in the process of reviewing that. We hope to be able to bring it up to date. If we need any help on that, we will then go to, as Jim said, legislative review. So just know we're working on it to keep our CCNRs and yours up to date legally. Thank you.
Thank you. It is clear for CCNR will be reviewed. Okay. Item C is done. Any question? No, okay. So,
5 minutes break?
oh, you want to have a 5-minute break? Okay, so it's a bio break. Let's,
Before we start the.
He needs a
yeah,
break.
let's have a 5-minute break.
I
Okay,
suggest.
good.
You know, you don't have
It
to
is
accept.
10:43, we'll be back 10:50. Thank you.
Wait, you gave him 7 minutes. He only asked for 5.
So, we do have a Stuart, ready to
Yeah.
talk. Yeah. Stuart, would you like to make a comment before we start our committee meeting report?
We're back.
Okay, yes, Steve.
We are,
wanted to
we
say
are back
something.
online.
So, thank you. So, in regard to that extra amount of money that you just approved in order to pay for dry rot, speaking on behalf of Gardenville Association, we're taking this really seriously. Already prepared a statement to go out to all of our members about what they need to do to avoid standing water, to avoid overwatering their plants, to be cognizant of that this costs us a lot of money. And we have our part to play in this. And I sent it out for comment, and it's already been circulated by our building captains, because they're taking it really seriously. I may even finish this thing before everybody's already seen it. So they're taking it seriously, but I'm also getting a lot of feedback. And that is, and I'm sorry there's nobody here. Well, you're here, thank you, from staff. But a lot of feedback on the need for staff to prioritize requests from people who live in three-story buildings when they send in a request to fix a leak problem. And so I'm still receiving these comments where there's obviously leaks going on from the rain spouts, from various sources, and these requests are unfulfilled. Nothing's being done about them. Some of them go back even years. So that's the response I'm getting. So I think we need to change the priority with staff. I know this is funding. They have to fix things. But to pay much quicker attention to requests that involve water intrusion that is also causing the need to replace beams within our buildings. And I will continue to share these comments with the M&C committee, and I just request that you ask staff to set a different priority regarding this.
Yeah, I think we need to look at all the backlogs there and the issue with watering the plants. It's not just three-story building, two-story buildings, balcony have the same issues. I
Yeah.
see people running waters, on the second floor on the balconies, and those are all dry rots, causes of dry rots. And we need for the staff to be cognizant and, kind of get involved, and the requests for repair or, prevention and things like that need to be taken very seriously.
Yeah.
And we appreciate that you guys also internally within the, three-story building as captains, kind of remind people of, the problems and try to see if we can improve behavior also. It's not just, part of it is behavior. People just, water to the, till it, runs everywhere. So I guess it's a cooperation between staff and the, and the people, in the garden villas and the captains to get these things, educational part of it, kind of at least work out. But the repair and all of that, we make sure that, MNC is going to be, more involved and more active on that.
Okay. Stuart, I'd just like to say thank you to the Gardenville Association. I think that we have established a good working relationship between the current board and your association to try to address and solve problems cooperatively. So thank you.
Yeah, well, we're all working.
Yeah. No, that's what I was trying to say. I
Yeah,
want to say
yeah.
thank you.
Yes, well, you're welcome, but it's what we need to do. And I think the connection here is people understanding that money doesn't just fall from trees, that everything that happens here that requires money, we are also paying for. And I think it's a connection we have to continue to work on with people. I get a lot of feedback on the whenever there is water within our units causing damage, and oftentimes it's water that came from pipes that are inside the walls that are not ours, but we've got to pay for the damage. And they need to understand that there's a solution to that, and that is to change the rules here so that Third Mutual pays for all the damage. But what comes along with that is, do you want to pay another couple $100 a month or so in order to fund that? And so it's important that we make the connection that we are the people here who pay for everything. Yeah.
One way or the other.
Yeah. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Stuart. And I just want to make a comment. One thing, that 4007, when I saw the far right-hand section, complete all the balcony and the stud has been rotted out, and I said, holy smoke. That was a really bad one that I observed. The potential cause of that was they built at the bottom, first floor, at the bottom, a balcony, they built a brick wall, and that was heavy. And I noticed that balcony was leaning toward the end, and that was possibly cause of a crack on the wall, and the water seep in, and that's why it was so badly damaged. So I'm glad that we removed that brick wall that we built on the balcony. Okay. Thank you. Anyway, now let's resume the item 12A. Donna, please take away for the financial report.
Yes, thank you. Certainly on the heels of our Gardenville Association president saying money doesn't fall from trees. That was a wonderful segue into what we're doing. And at this time of the year, the finance report from the committee really has two parts. One is the budget process for next year, because that work is going on. It began with staff back at fall of 2024 of the previous year. We were presented a couple of months ago with version 1, which showed about a potential, and a potential is the key word, potential 10% increase in the monthly assessment. And we worked with and heard presentations from the primary departments and asked them to go back to the drawing boards. And we received version 2, not an open meeting, but just in writing. And they've responded in part, and we'll keep working. And I just want everybody to know that version 3, which will be close to, if not the final budget for next year, will be presented August 18th at 1:30 right here in the boardroom and on TV6. It's important enough it will be televised. And we really hope that our members and residents tune in, because we appreciate their attention. And with that, let's move to the current finance report, which is what's happening this year. And this report is through May 31st of this year, so keep that in mind, that that's well over a month ago. And if you look, the first slide is always the 30,000-foot presentation. This is all of our budgets. It's our operating expense budget, and it's our contingency, our non-operating funds. And all of it together, you can see that our assessment revenue at $19 million and our non-assessment revenue at $1.5 million gave us total revenue up to this point in the year, up to May 31st, of a little over $20 million. We were budgeted for slightly less, so that was a good thing. And our net expense was $17.7 million against a budgeted expense of 18.4. So again, at the moment, we're looking very good. But keep in mind, this is only the middle of the year, and a lot of this has to do with the fact that work that has not yet been completed and invoices that have not been received. So we're probably right about where we need to be. And with that, let's move on to the next slide to see where some of our significant variances in the budget were. And again, we're looking at everything. It says on the top line, the biggest one, says repairs and maintenance. That's really outside services. And the reason it's shown as repairs and maintenance is because those are the kinds of outside services that were needed and that resulted in our having a nice excess that we hadn't anticipated. But part of that is because we moved lawn mowing, the mowing crews, from outside services to in-house. So where we saved on the outside services, that will be picked up in-house. And so ultimately, there will not necessarily be a big savings there. And there are some invoices that have not been received. But at the moment, we're very happy. It looks lovely. Our investment income is very nice. Investment income has been receiving a 4.13% return. We had budgeted 4%, so that is well ahead, and we've been able to really maintain those special funds, as you will see when we get to the end of the report. It's nice to see a positive on uncollectible accounts, because that suggests we're not going to get that money, and as you can see, we did receive some of it. There's been some really good response with the work that's being done to bring some of those accounts up to date. In terms of materials and supplies, again, we are slightly better than budget, mostly in M&C due to the timing of materials, invoicing, and some of the work that hasn't begun. On the negative side, utilities and telephone. And I want to really highlight this because there are two reasons for this being negative. One, we have little control over, which is the fact that electricity and trash collection rates are higher than anticipated, and we have no control over those rates. However, the third component of that is water, and the water component of it is usage. Our water usage went up. Yes, there's been a slight increase in charges from El Toro Water District, but the increase that we saw was primarily usage. And so I do highlight that because we all have a responsibility to try and conserve water. So I thank you for that. And let's move on to our next slide. And I always like this because it's so easy to see where our non-assessment revenues come when it's in a pie chart like this. And you can see the role that our investment income played, and that was very, very nice to see. Chargeable services is also nice. 20% of our non-assessment revenues was from chargeable services. And as we move around that pie, just nice to know where these revenues come from: lease processing, laundry, inspections, et cetera, and you can see it all the way around. And so our non-assessment revenues at approximately $1.5 million. Moving on to the next slide. Our total expenses, and again, this is total, so it's including both operating and non-operating budgets. You can see the biggest one is employee compensation and related expenses at a little over 1/3 of our expenses, of our total expenses. Insurance at 19%, and I'm happy to say insurance has really been a very challenging part of our budget, and with the wonderful work that was done by the special subcommittee from Third, working with United, that collaboration has produced insurance fees that are less than might have been without that work. So we thank them and hope you're appreciating it as you see your bills now and next year as well. Outside services, about 19%, and utilities at 16%. And again, very on a much smaller basis, things like materials, supplies, and repairs. And moving on. Now we look specifically, that was the overall view. We look specifically at our operating income, and because this is what we're counting on. This is what we budget for, and it's what we expect. And our assessment revenue, as expected, was a little over $13 million. Non-assessment revenue at $834,000, giving us a little over $14 million in total revenue as of May 31st. Expenses at a little over $13 million, leaving us again with that operating surplus of almost $1 million. But when invoices come in, that will come down just a bit. Moving on to the next one. We go to our non-operating funds, and that's a collection of funds. These are funds that we have to have them sitting there waiting, and it's a guesstimate of what we might need, and we always have to have funds in reserve. So the four funds that compose our non-operating funds: the Garden Villa Fund, the unappropriate expenditures, most of us think of in terms of a contingency fund. We set aside money for what we don't know might happen, but we know something will. The Disaster Fund, our emergency preparedness, et cetera, all goes under there. And our replacement funds, which we usually refer to as our reserves, and that being the largest one in planning for the future. And you can see that there has been from the beginning balances in January of 35 million to our current, or at least as of May 31st, 36.8 million. The total funds have increased, and the only decrease actually was in the Garden Villa Fund for some work that had to be done, but the others are all holding well and in fact building a bit. And if we move to the next slide, you can see just a graphic representation of these very same funds from 2021 through to 2025. And it's fairly clear when you look at the bars that each of these is going up a bit, with the exception from 23 to 24. The disaster fund dropped a little bit, and that was intentional. We had some expenses we had to do. I do want to point out that across the top, there's a very thin, dark gray line that you can barely see. That's the Garden Villa Fund. It is a small fund. It is represented there. And I always want you to know it's there because at a quick glance, you might not see it. But again, and we plan, and it's something we always have to plan for. So that's the current finance report. As I say, we are definitely ahead of budget. However, we are awaiting some invoices that will change that. And we have one more, if we can move on to the next slide, which is our resale history. And probably the most important part of the resale history is to see that total sales are slightly, only slightly, but slightly more than the previous year. We had quite a drop during COVID, et cetera. You can see that in 23 at the end, we were at 133 total resales, went to 146, and now we're just slightly over that. And when people look at average resale price, the initial thing is, oh my goodness, the values are going down. No, they aren't. What's happening is, from month to month, and in fact year to year, we have several very large sales that sometimes occur. In fact, I was looking at the resales this year, and for the first 6 months of the year, there were more than 18 third mutual properties that sold for over $1 million. So when you have one or two of those, that's going to skew the overall. So as I say, the importance of this is to see that the numbers of sales are fine. For the most part, prices are holding, but a few extra or a few less $1 million plus sales are going to skew that overall price. And with that, that concludes the finance report.
Thank you, Donna. Next item is 12B. Director Yun. Report of Architectural Control and Standard Committee.
Committee met July 7th, and for variance, we had two variance requests, there were three. We denied two of them. One was kicked out from the board meeting, general board, and we denied that. And then we approved one. And next meeting is, I think, August 11th.
Okay.
Thank you.
Now, report of maintenance and construction. Director Robert Litvak, please.
Okay, thank you. The committee met on July 7th. I chaired the committee because the normal chair, Dr. Karimi, was unavailable to chair it.
Thank you.
I'm glad that he's back with us. The members of the committee reviewed the project log and discussed various projects, some of which we yet to begin, such as the seal coat program, which CEO addressed earlier in her report. The Shepherd's Crook program has not yet begun, but it will, and water lines, copper remediation are yet to begin for this year. A number of requests were considered by the committee, including a request for a walkway improvement at Building 4015, because of the slope of the walkway. After discussion and consideration of the information provided by the staff, the request was denied. However, if the members who live in that building wish to underwrite the cost of installing the railing that they would like, the committee will reconsider if the proposal that they submit does not block the way for the dumpsters to be rolled down the sidewalk on trash days. Roof replacement program scope of work was reviewed with the caveat that the committee and the third board will have the opportunity to consider other possible colors of the fiberglass shingles so that they may more closely match the existing orange-colored clay roofs. The dry rot issue was addressed by the committee, and you know the results of that because today this board approved an additional $500,000 for the dry rot. And when Adam Felis spoke for us a few minutes ago, he was asked whether or not the $500,000 would be sufficient, and we don't know if it will be sufficient for this year. We may have to actually allocate even more because of the damages that's being done. And this relates to the discussion we just had with Stuart Hack, who's president of the Gardenville Association, and wanting to work cooperatively with us to try to address the problems so that we reduce the possible dry rot in the future. Speaking of the Gardenville Association, a request was received from them regarding signage for the fire alarm locations, letting everyone know that if you live in a 3-story building and you pull the fire alarm, that does not summon the fire department, okay? You need to pull the fire alarm to alert your residents, fellow residents in the building, and also call 911 if there's a need for a fire department response, okay? So this will be addressed by us as a third board because we've asked now the staff to please put together a cost analysis for what it would be to put up the signage so that we can regularly alert members of the 3-story buildings that just pulling the fire alarm doesn't summon the fire department. Next meeting of the Maintenance and Construction Committee, which Chair Karimi will be there, is scheduled for Monday, August 4th at 1:30 here in the boardroom.
Thank you, Director. Robert. 12D, Report of Landscape Committee. Steve, please.
Okay, thank you very much. I'll do a recap of the latest Landscape Committee that met on the 3rd of July. I want to take 8 topics real quick that have come up that are very concerned to people dealing with landscape. First one is tree maintenance. Large canopy tree pruning will begin soon. This year, 1,486 trees have been pruned and trimmed, and 157 trees have been removed by Bartlett tree experts and in-house crews. Pruning and trimming is done on a 6-year species-based trim cycle. Number 2, the Willows Retirement Center side hill on Santa Maria Avenue has been cleaned up. Thanks to our landscape department for working this problem. Number 3, reminder to all residents, tree plantings take place in the fall and early winter. A lot of people have asked for different times, but that's when it happens. Number 4, caution if you're using artificial turf. Artificial turf is made from fire-resistant materials. While it can melt under intense heat or direct contact with open flames, most can catch fire. Number 5, fire risk reduction. OCFA has conducted an inspection of our slopes, and all citations that we received have been corrected. Number 6, this year there have been 117 out-of-cycle trimming and tree removal requests. In the future, please refer to our new policy on tree and bush trimming and request prior to making a request. Number 7, to birders. Birders in our mutual have expressed their concerns pertaining to the trimming of trees containing birds' nests. The landscape department only trims these trees after the nesting season. At present, there are 5 trees in this category. And lastly, number 8, when submitting a mutual landscape request form, be aware that you must provide proof of tree roots growing under a foundation, sidewalk, or a wall. If you cannot provide evidence, your request will lack credibility and may cause denial of your request. Note that the landscape department and the M&C departments cross-reference information before approving any tree removal request. That completes my report.
Okay, thank you, Steve. Item E, report of water conservation. Please, Donna.
Yes,
report.
the Water Conservation Committee ordinarily meets quarterly on the last Thursday of January, April, July, and October. Due to extenuating circumstances, the July meeting will have to be moved to August, so it will be the last Thursday of August at 2 p.m. The location will be announced, and it's really important. This committee is going to become much more active throughout the year because, as you heard in the finance report, part of the reason our utility portion was beyond planned budget was because of water usage. So we will be becoming very, very active and much more so than we have been. So again, the last Thursday of August at 2 p.m. and the location will be announced.
Good, thank you. Item F, report of Resident Policy and Compliance Committee. Director Muchnick.
Thank you, Director Park. The Resident Policy and Compliance Committee last met on June 24th at 9:30. One of the things we talked about was Standard 21, the patio slabs, walkways, pavers, and driveways, which was put on 28-day notice today. That bubbled up from the committee. The committee also looked at the proposed policy relating to accessibility, and it was discussed and considered. Because of the need for some changes in the wording, the policy was referred back to staff and will be reconsidered by this committee at our next monthly meeting. The committee also reviewed and considered a policy related to alteration of exclusive use common area. A very lively discussion ensued, and it was decided not to make any changes to the current policy that was previously approved by the board back in 2018. The policy regarding rules and regulations for garden, villa, and LH21 buildings was reviewed in light of the problem of dry rot, which we've now talked about a number of times during this meeting, by the overwatering, hosing down of balcony, and of course rain when we have it, which has caused our operating budget to be negatively affected. As was discussed earlier in this meeting, a $500,000 additional appropriation has been allocated to support the repair of dry rot. The Gardenville Association has been asked to help us address this problem since they have building captains and regional reps who can identify problems and speak to the residents. The next meeting of the Resident Policy and Compliance Committee is scheduled for Tuesday, July 22nd at 9:30 here in the boardroom.
Thank you, Robert. This is conclude item 12, our mutual committee reports. Now we're going into 13, if there's no any questions or anything. GRF committee highlights, a GRF CAC meeting. Director Muchnick, please.
This is very quick. The committee last met on June 12th, and a report was given at our June board meeting. The next meeting of the CAC is scheduled for August 14th at 1:30 here in the boardroom, and the report for that committee will be eventually given by our Director Fox.
Yes.
Who's taking over for me.
It's been long waited, I think. Okay, next item as well.
Keep going.
Yes. Traffic hearing?
Oh, traffic hearing is next, okay. Traffic Hearing Committee met on the 18th of June, during which time we had 10 cases coming before the committee. 2 of the violations was for speeding, 6 were for failure to stop. One of the violators asked to be rescheduled. One violation was for a third time of failing to stop at a stop sign, and the fine was $400. While another was a second offense of failing to stop, and that fine was $300. We really, folks, really need you to pay much more attention to the issue of our stop signs. And that's not only auto vehicles, it also includes golf carts. Golf carts are also required and responsible for following all the rules of the road. And we have a lot of violators who are engaging in running of our stop signs. So please, for the safety of our residents, pay attention to the stop signs. The next month, board member Howard Fox also will be assuming responsibility for the traffic hearings. The next scheduled one is tomorrow. You're going to be available to attend, Dr.?
I'll be there.
Okay.
At
So,
9 a.m. here in the boardroom.
yeah,
Thank you.
now finally Director Howard Fox is on the hook, I think. Okay, Steve? Yes.
Yeah, I just have one other comment.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so when I'm driving around, of course, I've been stopped twice, and I've paid my fine because it was a California rolling stop, and I got chewed out, but I paid my fine and whatever. But lately, I'm driving around, and these cars are like, they don't even slow down.
That's right.
Right.
That's right.
And I'm talking cars, not, everybody's supposed to stop at the stop sign. But I don't have as big a problem with the cart as I do with the car.
Yeah.
And these cars are like blasting through stop signs, and I have to like stop short not to get broadsided. What is our responsibility when we see this happen? I'm not going to get out of the car and flag them down, but should we be taking their license number if we can, so we can track them down? Or, I mean, what are we supposed to do? Or just like, it is what it is, and it's my bad luck that I get caught every time, and these people drive around and don't get caught.
Catherine, would you mind to respond?
Yeah, if you do see the license number or you're able to get the license number, please then send it to security.
I'll take pictures, and then I'll get a ticket for using my phone in the car.
Okay, so can we do that?
No, it's okay because you'll be stopped, so you can take the picture.
Okay, I'm surprised we can do that.
You can
Yeah, I mean-
they will not be able to issue a violation.
But we can send them a letter.
But
that
they could be
better slow
sent
down.
notification that they were observed doing this, blah, blah, blah.
Okay.
But they can't be fined.
Okay.
And that was actually my next question, because, I mean, obviously, we're now putting some responsibility on VMS to do something. So what is it that happens regarding someone just saying, hey, so-and-so didn't stop?
Okay.
So what's the next step? I'm just curious.
Yeah,
Now,
there's a
Steve has a question.
following comment about not stopping at stop signs. On Santa Maria, at Gate 8, I've observed time after time after time, during day and night, people in the right-hand lane just zip right on through.
Yes.
And beware if you are a pedestrian at any time, that people are about to do this. So take precautions, especially at night, wear special reflective gear.
Okay, thank you.
Jim's question needs to be answered.
So it's just like compliance. If you see something, you just report that I saw this occur, and then compliance.
With the license plate?
If you have the license plate number, that would be helpful, so we know who to
send it to.
Okay,
reach out.
good.
The other choice, Howard, is that you could sign up to become a security officer, and we'll put you out on patrol.
Yeah, okay, good.
By the way, I've been stopped and fined too, but that was 10 years ago, and I learned my lesson.
Some of us never learn ours.
Okay. Regardless, I'm so happy that Mr. Howard Fox is on the hook. Thank you. Item C, Disaster Preparedness Task Force. Director Wayne?
Yes, now this task force meets every other month. So the last time we met was in May. And Siobhan gave us more information about what's going on with that committee than I had access to. So I'd like to thank Siobhan for covering for me.
Okay.
Next meeting is August 13th at 9:30 a.m. in the boardroom.
August 13th?
August 13th, 9:30 a.m.
Okay.
I'm looking on the Team Up calendar, it's July 29th at 9:30 a.m.
Okay. We'll find out, okay?
July 29th, Fred.
Yeah. Okay, we'll figure it out, okay. Item D, 13D, GRF Maintenance and Construction Committee. Director Parsons?
Yes, the committee met on July 11th, 2025, and it was reported on at our last board meeting on 17th June. Next meeting will be August 13th, 9:30 in the boardroom.
Okay, good, thank you. Item E, GRF Finance Committee, Director Donna?
Yes.
Okay, please.
The GRF Finance Committee last met on June 18th. That was reported at the last board meeting. It meets every other month, so the next meeting will be August the 20th, 1:30 p.m. in the boardroom.
Okay, thank you. GRF Mobility and the Vehicles Committee, Director Ruth Johnson, please.
The last meeting was May 7th, 2025. The next meeting is August. We meet quarterly. August 6th at 1:30 p.m. in the boardroom.
Okay. GRF, next item is GRF Landscape Committee, Director Parsons.
Yes, last meeting was held on the 16th of June. Next meeting will be on August 13th. We reported at our last board meeting on June 17th the outcome of the June 16th meeting.
Okay, good, thank you. Now, interesting item, H, that is Space Planning Ad Hoc Committee, Director Muchnick, please.
Okay, this committee met on June 30th, and for the first time in 90 days. And it was absolutely the shortest committee meeting I have ever attended since I've been on the board. It lasted less than 20 minutes. The agenda for the meeting was one item, to review the scope of work for the consultant who was charged with the structural evaluation of Building E. Since the contract for the consultant had already been executed, which included the scope of work, which was previously approved by the GRF board, this item was removed from the agenda, and therefore, having no other business, the meeting was adjourned. The next meeting will be scheduled once the consultant submits his report, which is expected by the middle to the end of August.
What a wasting. Item I have to say it. Information Technology Advisory Committee, Director Hopkins.
Next meeting is July 25th. Next meeting is July 25th at 1:30. It is a closed meeting.
Thank you. Item J, GRF Broadband Ad Hoc Committee, Director Muchnick.
This committee met for the first time in open session this past Friday. I say for the first time because it was the first open session meeting. All the previous meetings had been closed.
Oh.
The intent of this meeting was to bring you, the resident, up to date on the progress of the fiber optic installation and other aspects of the broadband program. So that really was more informational for the residents. That's why it was an open meeting. At this point in time, there are no additional meetings of the committee that are currently scheduled.
It says October 8th, am I correct?
No, it's not clear that that will take place.
Okay, we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Item K, GRF Security and Community Access Committee, Director Moore.
Thank you. That was my first meeting on this particular committee. And after hearing what was said this morning about the stop signs, I think that I will be more vested in this committee because simply because the statistics that they gave us showed what I thought was a very limited amount of stops from security. So our next meeting is on August 27th, and I will be much more in tune to how many stops are made and are we covering those stop signs like we should.
Okay, thank you.
Can I make a comment on that?
Yes, please.
I think the reason you're seeing a limited number or a smaller number than you were expecting based on this discussion is they only have 2 officers who have the ability to do that, to write the tickets, because they have to videotape them, and that's what they have in the vehicles, and there are only 2 officers that are available to do that.
Are we then doing what we should?
That's a separate issue.
Right.
I'm just sharing to you why the numbers are what they are.
Good, okay. Then I will bring up the question.
Okay.
Are we covering like we should?
Yes. To bring up at the committee, would it be feasible to have cameras installed at those spots that seem to be real trouble spots? Only the specific ones. And I don't know, because we do have to do something.
One of the things that they did speak about was where the cameras are located within the third visual, and they're not on stop signs.
It's in the car.
I would be personally very opposed to Big Brother of cameras on stop signs and other kinds of, because once you go down that slippery slope, where does it end?
Right.
So that's just a personal opinion.
Yeah,
And
you know,
my
I have-
personal opinion differs. only because it does show you accidents, and it does show you people that are
Yeah, the
consistently breaking
consequences
the
of
law.
someone running a stop sign when someone is either injured or
Right.
unfortunately
And that's
a
in respect to my
fatality
colleague
is,
here.
you know, where do you put a price on that? I ask only because just recently, I was driving the golf cart. The golf carts are not highly maneuverable. You can't do a whole lot with getting out of the way quickly. And there was a car coming, and I stopped myself just in time because that car didn't even slow down at the stop sign. And had I started to proceed, it probably would, someone else would have probably been giving the finance report today. So I am kind of with Peggy, and I don't know the answer, but we obviously can't have officers all over the
No.
community. And so the question is, what can we do to
Well, I
at
think
least
then
help?
if we have the cameras all over, would it be best to utilize a few of them in our most
Yes.
violated areas?
Yeah, so it's a slippery slope, but,
I don't know how much it will
When you're
cost
ready to go
us.
down.
yeah.
But we used to have a camera on the gate 12.
You still have them on the gates.
Gate
Uh,
12?
yeah. But Gates is different, they have to
Cameras on
slow
the
down or else
Yeah.
they
So,
break the bar.
I don't know.
you so-
That-
That's just to notice
It's-
something
it's-
going into the
Yeah.
I don't know. What can we do? At this point, if we don't have any further question or comments, yes, Ruth?
Just a brief comment. I never thought we'd have this problem in this community, but the e-bike situation is coming up. I read a little bit about it. I guess grandkids come, and they're doing wheelies and causing difficulty. I've heard residents complain that they're cutting their traffic off too, so at some point, we need to address how we're gonna handle the bikes.
E-bikes.
E-bikes.
E-bikes? Okay, any more? No? Okay. Then let's move to item 14, future agenda item. We have a revision to standard 21 patio slab, walkways, pavers.
I think we took care of that today.
Oh, we do have 28.
It's
We
on
gotta go
28.
through
It's on 28 days, yeah.
28-day notice. Now, any further agenda items?
Yes, I think we
Future?
should take Ruth's advice and start considering rules for e-bikes.
Well, that should be on the
SSC.
tax committee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the.
I'm writing
Security-
it down.
Security committee should.
I'm writing.
That policy and
Yeah, no,
compliance too? I don't know.
no, I think the security
down the
and
road,
access committee
yeah.
should review first, I think.
Yes.
Okay.
It's not a policy for Third Mutual.
Right.
Because the roadways are primarily GRS roadways.
yeah.
It's true.
So it really needs to be through there.
Right, access committee should review first, yeah.
I wrote it down.
Huh?
I wrote it down.
Okay, so you're gonna bring that?
Yep.
Yes, and anything else that we wanna put in future agenda item? No? If you have come up with something good, please let me know, I'll add on to it. Okay, we are at number 15, director's comment. Jim, I will go you first.
As a trustee on the History Center, I encourage everyone to first understand the history, but also attend on July 17th at 1:30 at the History Center. There's a special feature on TV6, and that's going to be it's a presentation given, and it's a reception of sort. It's not a big place, so. But I encourage board members to.
What was
to
the
attend.
date, Jim?
It's
July?
July 17th,
July 17th?
Yeah.
Okay. Thursday.
TV6.
Okay,
They're going
good.
to talk about TV6 and its history.
Okay, thank you, Jim.
Great meeting.
Yeah, what about Howard? Oh, okay. How about Ruth?
Nothing further?
Nothing? How about Peggy?
Nope, I'm fine, thank you. Good meeting.
Yeah, and thank you for that CCR review. Yes, that's very good. How about Robert? I'm surprised you don't have any. How about Reza? Okay, good. Steve? No. Yep. Okay. Dr. Yu? Okay, good. How about our staff? Catherine? Michaela? No? Anybody from audience?
Stuart, any final comment?
How about Jim? Jim, we'll see you at the.
Yes, I do.
Oh, what about the Craig?
Craig.
I have a comment.
No comment?
Okay. I believe, no, I do have a comment.
Well, yeah, go ahead.
I believe that the e-bikes are supposed to adhere to the laws of vehicles, which means they aren't supposed to be driving on sidewalks, and they should be eliminated if they are doing that. I don't believe that's a GRF issue. I believe it's a security issue.
Yeah, so
That's
we
my
can bring it up.
Which is still GRF.
GRF, yeah, please do. Okay, that is the items, comes to item 16, recess. We'll meet you at 12 o'clock. How's that sound? Okay, thank you.
You said that before.
I know.
Still not.
I'm not going to walk all the way down.